And we are live.
Yay!
Welcome, YouTube friends, and welcome, real live in the room friends. Yay! The gang's all here.
Hi,
Okay.
Debbie.
Hi, Debbie. Okay. And hi, friends, wherever you are in the world. Let's make that a little closer. Yeah, okay. Being in front of and behind the camera simultaneously. Hi, so welcome, one and all, and who's new here in the room? You two are, and okay, great, okay. So this is, and whoever's new out here, and old, and in between, what we do here is called natural meditation. Natural means there's nothing strained, nothing artificial, nothing nothing weird. We're allowing, natural means we're allowing nature to drive the process. And nature is always looking for fulfillment. You know, the earthworms are always looking for, what do earthworms eat? Earth? I don't know. The worms are looking for whatever they eat, and the you know, everything's looking for its fulfillment one way or another in every moment. It's really the nature of existence. And you know, some of you have heard me say this once or twice or 1,000 times, but every time I hear it, this is a truth. It kind of gets, you know, I have to keep going back and looking at this. I hear myself saying some of these things. I go, okay, I keep saying that. Is that really true? And some of this stuff, it just more deeply and deeply, as I, you know, in the experience of my own life and what I see as I look around me, it's just deeply true. It just keeps testing out. And in this case, the truth that keeps testing out is that everything in existence, every being is looking for some kind of ultimate fulfillment, ultimate, you know, just that feeling of, everything's fine now. And anytime we're feeling unfine, we're looking for, well, what do I need to get so that things will be fine? Or what do I need to get rid of? What is it that's in my field of experience, within my frame of awareness right now, that I have to either add to this moment's experience or subtract from this moment's experience, so I can sit back and go, it's all good now. Okay. And of course, we mostly try to do that on the outside, by rearranging the furniture of our lives one way or another, rearranging our relationships, rearranging our whatever work situation, what we're eating, where we're sleeping, where we're living. And of course, that all has its place. But sooner or later, we start to suspect that, well, maybe there's some inner that's not dependent on the outer circumstances. Because the outer circumstances are so unstable. They're always shifting around. Ultimately, we can't control them. So wouldn't it be nice if we could find some inner that is there all the time, regardless of what's going on the outside? The unconditional And if in fact there is some such thing, if there is some such thing, and it's really within us all the time, and it's really the thing we're looking for in every moment, then meditation should consist of just allowing that to pull us, instead of our trying to, instead of our trying to push ourselves toward it or push anything away. Yeah, just sit wherever you're comfy. And
Is that horrible or just?
no, that's fine. Wherever, no, that's great. Wherever you're comfy.
Okay with it, I'm
Yeah.
not too uncomfortable.
And you're new here. Is this your first time?
No, you see me here like 2 years ago.
Oh,
I'm the one
okay.
that had the harmonium.
Oh,
We're
okay.
looking for a good place.
Okay, great. So you remember where the bathroom is. We get the important stuff.
Dude, do you want me to, should I go?
Yeah. Okay. After the kitchen, first door on the right.
Thank you.
Down the hall. Bathrooms are always down the hall on the right. It's the law. So what meditation consists of, what natural meditation consists of, is just letting our natural gravitation toward that state of letting it pull us. And I like that because I'm lazy. And this is, of course, very, very different from the model of meditation that consists of trying to concentrate, trying to clear your mind, trying to hold the attention in one place, trying to push the thoughts away. All those things that most people assume meditation consists of. And of course, the problem with that approach is that any effort to create a non-agitated state of mind is itself a form of agitation. So it's self-defeating, and we find ourselves, chasing our tails. That's called trying to meditate. So we don't try. Here. And so what I'm going to be doing is just walking us very gently through this non-trying and allowing this gravity to take over. It's a good time to double check your phone, make sure that it's really off. Of course, if anyone's phone rings during meditation, then everything is ruined. And we'll never get enlightened. And it will be your fault. How's this? Why am I in the bottom half of the screen? Come on now. Where's my camera crew? Better. Okay. So, everyone's sitting comfortably, and at any point during the next while, or during the rest of the evening, or during the rest of your life, if you're uncomfortable, do something to change it. Get comfortable, because being comfortable is way more fun than being uncomfortable, as you probably noticed. Come on in. Always come on in. How are you doing,
Hi,
Tom?
Dean.
How are you?
Great, thank
Good.
you.
Good. So you want to grab a seat?
Yes.
So sitting comfortably, and at any point, if you need to change, recross your legs or move from the floor to a chair, or scratch your nose, then blow your nose, whatever, then that's fine. Do that. Don't sit and suffer. It's not allowed. Because it's all natural. It's all natural. So let's notice what you're already naturally experiencing. What are you already naturally experiencing? Our good friend the barking dog, here by popular request, for a return engagement. He's here every Tuesday, folks. It's the sound of the fountain out there. There's the visual experience of the room that we're sitting in, or whatever room y'all are sitting in out there in TV land. And notice how the experiences of whatever arises in each moment, how it all arises naturally. It arises without effort. There's no work being done. Okay? Does that, don't take my word for it. Does that conform with your experience? There's no work that you do to hear my voice or hear the dog or see the colors or have whatever thoughts come through, whatever feelings come through. It's all happening spontaneously. It's all happening effortlessly. We can't plan it. We didn't know that that car was going to drive past. So it's just everything is just coming up all by itself. We've got no role. We're unemployed in this regard. So remaining unemployed, let's simply close our eyes. Don't meditate. All we're doing is changing the position of the eyelids. So aside from the outer colors going away and maybe noticing the inner colors dancing behind the eyelids, not much has changed. Sounds still arise, effortlessly, spontaneously. Thoughts and feelings still arise effortlessly, spontaneously. We're still unemployed. There's still nothing for us to do. And that's true in this moment of experience. And now in this moment of experience. And in every moment of experience. Present awareness, natural, spontaneous experience, just keeps unfolding all by itself in each fresh moment. So we may as well just kick back and relax and let it unfold. Not trying to manage anything. Not trying to script our experience or direct it. You can try, but every time you try, you notice rather quickly that it fails. So we may as well just give up. Profoundly, utterly give up into present awareness. And actually to signal to the body, the nervous system, that we're deeply giving up. Let's take a slow, deep breath. Really fill up with air. Hold it for a moment, and then open the mouth and let it all out. Ah! The sigh of completely letting go. Let's do that again. Ah! And let's do it again. Ah. Just giving up, just quitting. So we're not trying to concentrate or focus on anything, not trying to feel some special way, not trying to cook our experience into some kind of meditative meal that we have in mind, just leaving it raw as it presents itself. And just resting in it. So the sounds come and go, the thoughts come and go, the feelings and sensations come and go. As they come and go, they're kind of like different kinds of weather coming and going in the sky. Different clouds and breezes, rainbows. And the sky has room for it all. In this case, the sky of awareness. Which is actually you, the one that's aware. Within this awareness, this which is like empty sky, like empty space, all the experiences of the senses, the mind, the emotions, come and go by themselves. The sky itself is never affected. Sky is just empty space, pure, perfect openness. So, as all the things you're aware of come and go and change, you, the awareness itself, this empty, open, aware space, is the one thing that does not come and go. So just remain as you are. Remain as awareness, like empty, open, perfect, boundless space. Within which everything else comes and goes by itself. So anything that comes along, any thought, any feeling, any experience, is like one more cloud or breeze in the sky. That's fine. The sky is not waiting for the clouds to clear away so that it can be more sky-like, more open space. It's always boundless open space. It's because it's always empty that it can be full of whatever comes along. And notice how everything that comes along moves frictionlessly through this open space of awareness. Nothing that comes along, no kind of weather that comes along can injure the sky or improve the sky. If a feeling of restlessness comes along, fine. That's another kind of weather passing through the sky. A feeling of sleepiness comes along, fine. That's another kind of weather. The sky is perfectly welcoming and perfectly neutral, indifferent to all of it. So nothing to do. Just remain as you already are. Just rest as awareness, like open space. Nothing to remember, nothing to figure out. No goal to accomplish, and therefore no strategy for accomplishing it. All our thoughts about goals and strategies are just thoughts. Just more breezes passing through the sky where we already are, which we already are. How can we strategize to be right here as we already are? All we can do is let go into that, surrender into that. Let everything collapse into that, into this space of awareness, which is never distant from us or even close to us. It's always us, right here, this awareness. At any point, if you feel you're wrestling or struggling with something, thought or feeling or anything else, just relax your grip on it. Don't try to figure it out or resolve it or get rid of it or hold on to it. Just relax your grip on it. Relax back into yourself, into sky-like open awareness. Again and again. And whatever else is there in that sky, fine, doesn't matter. Now keep your eyes closed. And let's take a few minutes, 2 or 3 minutes, to just gently bring the body back to a more active state. Kind of like waking up in bed in the morning. Shifting around, stretching. Getting the blood going again. And after a couple of minutes, when you feel ready, just gradually let the eyes open. Always take your time. Okay, how we doing? Good? Everybody good? Good. Good. Any questions about, let's start with questions about this so-called meditation.
I mean, I don't know if it's about the meditation.
Okay, go ahead. Your questions are always great.
I thought about it during the meditation, so.
Great.
So,
Actually, by the way, let me just, before you do that, in regard to this, we've got friends out there in YouTube land now joining us literally from all over the world. And I wanted to, this is relevant. This is an email I got from Coralie, hi Coralie, who's in central Spain. She had a number of nice things to say, but this is the one I wanted to share with you. She said, I was deeply moved, so grateful to watch from start to end, sitting there in the silence with you all, feeling like I actually was a part of the group in your home. And the questions and answers resonated strongly with me. So I want to thank you from the depths of my heart for making it possible for me to be there. And would you please convey my grateful thanks also to the people attending who are open to the filming of the sessions and the sharing online of their questions. It's a huge gift for me. So, nicely done. Yes?
okay, so I've heard you say a lot, pain is mandatory, but suffering is optional, or
Yes.
something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess like my understanding of suffering is like fighting against what is, like going into the past, or like replaying the past, worrying about the future, trying to
Yes.
get anything.
Or bashing your head even against the present.
Yeah.
The present experience.
Trying to change other people, any of the things that
Mm-hmm.
can't be changed.
Right.
And so I am wondering though, I lately have been having these thoughts just enter my mind of like things I want to like say to somebody that I'm angry at, and I have this whole like screaming match in my head. And I like will notice it, and then I like loosen my grip, and I'm not like either pushing it away or like clinging on to it and like trying to figure it out. And then it like fades away, and then like 10 seconds later it's back. So
Perfect.
yeah.
Uh-huh.
I'm just wondering, I still feel like that's suffering, and I
Uh-huh.
like don't want to be doing it.
Yeah.
But I feel like I'm pretty, like I'm like resting as awareness more consistently throughout my day than I ever have before.
Yes.
So I'm like noticing it all, but it's still coming.
Yes. Yes. So what you're saying is you're not 100% perfectly done with suffering yet.
Yeah.
I remember, who was it? Jesse Jackson used to say, "God is not done with me yet." Right? You're still cooking. Yeah, I understand. Me too. I certainly have moments where I go, "Oh, really? Am I still doing that? Am I still processing that thing?" When,
Yeah.
right. Come on. But I, again, you always articulate these things so beautifully, and that okay, the stuff comes up, the thing is there, we're having the mental conversation, the argument, the whatever, the screaming match in our head, but now we have this, and everyone has that. All the 7 billion people walking around on the globe all have that. Okay? What we have that most people don't have is this little instruction: relax your grip on it. Okay? You notice how huge that little simple dumb instruction is? Relax your grip on it. Don't try to make it go. I mean, probably the majority of people, they just dive into it, and they just, act it out, or they, find a political leader who seems to embody their anger and will take...
Or shut
right.
it down completely and won't go into it
Right.
at all.
And that's the other way. That's the other way. Which, and how does that work out for folks?
And then it just comes up later.
Yeah, it just comes up in other forms.
Yeah.
Yeah, or you drive it into your body where it, becomes the ulcer, the backache, whatever. And for people who have not had the great good fortune that we've had to be exposed to this skill of this third way, that's like the only two alternatives. Try to suppress it, or just, be completely caught up in it. This simple thing: relax your grip on it. And it's none of your business then what happens with it. But oddly enough, if we do that over and over and over again, and it's usually not just once. There are rare people who they hear that once. Oh, relax your grip. Boing, that's it. Irreversibly, 100% free from suffering, liberated, nirvana. Thank you very much. Good night and good luck. Dusted and done. That's extremely rare. So for most of us, it takes some practice. And this is why, some of you've heard I've got this kind of wackadoodle theory about the Buddha's Four Noble Truths, which I have no idea if there's any historical reality to this. But my theory is that originally it was just 3 noble truths. Because 3 noble truths should be all we need. First noble truth: ow, I'm suffering. Ow, ow. Second noble truth: ooh, it's me that's doing it. Third noble truth: so I can stop. Done. That should be it. In principle, you should only have to have that pointed out to you once, and then, okay, stop doing that.
But the third one is, I guess, exactly what I'm asking. If I want to stop, and I'm aware of what I'm doing, and that I'm causing my own suffering, and I'm like resting as awareness and can see what's happening, like, why I can't stop though? Like that third noble truth. Like, if
Yeah.
it doesn't seem that I can't.
Every time you relax your grip on it, that's it. You're doing it. You're doing it what needs to be done. You're doing you're meeting your appointment. You're checking the box. Okay? Every time you do that, you're weakening its grip. Okay? So my theory, by the way, is just to finish up this story, is that the Buddha would go around and in the presence of, the deep charismatic, the spiritual charisma of the Buddha, people would go, okay, I can just drop this, and they're looking into the Buddha's eyes, and he's so sitting there smiling, like, oh yeah, wow, that's it, I'm done, I'm never going back into that snake pit again, and then he would leave town, he'd go on to the next town, and he'd come back, the next September, and they're back in it again. So I realized, okay, I got to add a fourth noble truth: practice. We have to do this for a while because we fall into our old habits, and this is borne out by neuroscience, which now tells us that all our old mental habits, they don't exist in the abstract. There's neural connections that correspond to all our mental habits and emotional habits. So every time we relax our grip, we start to go to that thing. We start to go to not just have the argument being there, but being completely caught up in it. That's when the deep grooves or the deep connections are made. We relax your grip on it, then you're finding space outside of the grip of that. You're finding the open space. You're neurologically, a different connection is being made, and it takes some time. In neurological terms, we're literally rewiring the brain, and it takes whatever time it takes. And yeah, we get impatient for it to be 100%. Yeah. I mean, right? Yeah, sure. Everyone does. But I just love the way you framed this, the context that you put it in, which is that I am resting as awareness more and more through the day. The stuff is slowly losing its grip, and it takes its time. However much time it has to take. Now, most people are on what Muji calls, he says, around the slow cook plan. It's not sudden and dramatic. But sometimes you go along, and probably some of you have experienced this, right? You're going along slowly and gradually, and then there may be, sometimes there's a day or a week or something where it just, you like drop to a new level of letting go.
Yeah, and I have that, I would actually say most of my days have been more on the letting go, but then I'm like, well, why isn't it like this all the time?
Yeah. Okay, so you realize by your own testimony you are in a state of freedom that is shared by less than a fraction of 1% of the population?
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty good.
But it feels so good that it's like I want it all the time.
Right, yeah, me too, yeah, sure. And that, absolutely, and that's, and it's a way that's great. We don't get too complacent on the path. Okay, I'm enlightened enough. I don't have to keep, sitting down and closing my eyes and practicing, just, see what's on TV.
Yeah, it's like the opposite. Like more days that I'm free of my mind or whatever it is, the more I want to sit and work on getting more of that.
Yeah. So fortunately, you know how to do that. We have the technology. We have the inner technology. You just be really regular about doing that every day, and maybe taking a little more time on some days or on all days, and more just that. I mean, it sounds like you're doing all of this, that during the other 23 hours there's just that kind of feeling of where's that space. Oh yeah, It's not fundamentally different. You know, the so-called walking around, so-called real life is not fundamentally different from so-called meditation. It's all, okay, it's always right now. Seeing, hearing, tasting, touching, smelling, thinking, emoting comes and goes. Where does it come and go? Comes and goes in this space of awareness, which is open like empty space. Which part of all this is me? Am I this, can I possibly be? So all of that so far is that's easily observable. Now we come to where it maybe gets a little bit challenging. Okay, within all of that, which part is me?
None of the things that I'm aware of.
Yes, can I possibly be anything I'm aware of?
No.
No, because that's just all changing and it's all stuff I am aware of. I mean, it's the answer is right there in the question. Can I be anything I am aware of? No, I am whatever is aware of it. Now, is the body something I'm aware of? Yes, so I can't be the body. Is the mind, all these jumble of thoughts, stuff I'm aware of? Yeah, so I can't be the mind. Emotions, identity, personal history, name, dean, you know. No, this all stuff I'm aware of. When I eliminate all of that, neti, as they say in the Indian philosophical tradition. Not this. Eliminate that as a possible identity for yourself. Eliminate that. You eliminate all the stuff you're aware of, what's left? The awareness, which is not red, yellow, or green. It's not big or small. It's not old or young. It's not male or female. It's and it's not hurting. And emotionally, physically, in any way. It's where it's always feeling no pain. And that thou art, tat tvamasi, that's what you are. But don't take my word for it. And you're not. You're doing this, you know, just observing, checking it out. And it's like you feel your way. It's not an intellectual, this can sound intellectual, but it's not an intellectual exercise. You feel your way out and, okay, oh yeah, this is what, you know, I'm not that. I'm seeing, this is not the one that I was seeing, you know, 10 years ago.
And if you cut it off, you'd still be.
Yeah, right, yeah. I remember back when I was in, I don't know, the 5th grade or something, I had a science project with planaria, flatworms, the little flatworms. And you take a razor and you like cut this little flatworm down the middle, the long way, and then it becomes 2 flatworms.
Wow.
Right? At least that's what's supposed to happen. Mine just died. That's when I knew not to be a surgeon. But you know, I had the, you know, at some point thinking about that, I thought, okay, what if I had gotten like really fond of my original little planarian there? You know, that became my pet planarian. I gave it a name. This is whoever, Petey the planarian. Okay? And then one day I cut it down the middle. And now I got 2 flatworms. Now which one is Petey and which one is son of Petey? Or are they both Petey? Or is this showing me that no one was ever Petey? That Petey is a concept that I try to superimpose on the experience, as is Dean, as is Cleo, as is. And this is called freedom. And the more you just kind of, you feel your way into it. You feel into the, not making it, because you can't, because it's what it is, but into the recognition of it. More and more the recognition of it is you can find that. Just finding the space of open awareness. Finding the space of perfect, open, empty, colorless, odorless, beginningless, endless, storyless awareness. Beingness. And of course we go through trying to see it. you know, but we're trying to hear it or feel it or think about it, trying to wrap seeing, hearing, thinking around it. And of course we can't, because they're all taking place within it. It's like the fish swimming around. Where the heck is this ocean I keep hearing about? Right? And sooner or later the fish gives up and just goes, okay, right here. Again and again and again. We keep doing this. And it just gets clearer. And you know that it's working, you know that the program's working because you suffer less. And if it makes you hungry to get totally dusted and done with the suffering, great. Okay? Making sense? What else? What else? So I want to make sure everyone is just clear, especially if we have some new friends joining us in TV land and here. As far as the meditation itself, sitting comfortably, don't worry about how long it is, doesn't have to be real long, 5 minutes, 10, 15 minutes. Throw away the watch, don't time it. Because when people time their meditation, they tend to make that another goal. Okay, I'm at 20 minutes, I'm going to push for 25 minutes. And then it becomes work. Then once again it becomes a task. And it's very, I don't want to say natural, it's actually unnatural, but it's very understandable that because almost everything else we do is a task, we tend to try to turn meditation into a task. But every time we do, that winds up not working. This is the one thing where working doesn't work. Not working works. And then whatever comes along, thoughts, you know, pleasant sensations, so-called unpleasant sensations, and it's going to be different from time to time, from one session to the next. So we don't try to, there was this really nice tranquil place I got into last time. I'm going to try to, let me just subtly try to find that and get back there again. And of course, the moment you do that, you've given up. It's like the old Aesop's fable of the dog with the bone. You know, the little dog is trotting along with a bone in his mouth. Happily, he's got his bone. And he trots across a little bridge going over a pond. And he looks down into the pond and he sees his reflection. He goes, oh, that dog, looks like that. There's another dog. Looks like he's got a much juicier bone than this one. I want his bone. And then at that moment he loses the real one. Right? So anytime we try to go for that nice meditation experience I had last Tuesday, or this nice experience that sounds so great that I read about in a book, or this concept that I have of what it's supposed to be like. Anytime we go for the concept, that's just the reflection, the mirage. And then we lose the real one, which is just always, and we don't even really lose that. We can't lose it. We're always it. But we lose the simplicity of just resting in it without striving. But then, you know, have a good laugh at ourselves and relax back into it again. Yes?
Can I ask you a question about dwelling on something? And it
Mhm.
also kind of
Mhm.
works with hers. I think you said this.
And
years
tell
ago
me your
when I
name
came
again.
here. Kristen.
Kristen.
Okay. Yeah.
Mhm.
Thanks. Isn't it okay to like feel whatever weight it is that's sort of disturbing that thing that you want to move on from and you want to release? Is it not okay to sort of dwell inside of that in your meditation, even if it's something not flattering?
Everything's
Like
okay.
hatred or jealousy or something that like instead of trying, I'm still a young meditator, but like
Mhm.
instead of always trying to push away and come to a really high ground, is it not some way of thinking, oh, maybe I should listen to what keeps coming up in this one area and allow myself to purge it in its own time rather than kind of, sometimes I feel a bit like I'm trying to not push but just let these things go before they're ready, like, and that's why they keep showing up,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is exactly what Cleo was talking about a little while ago, people trying to suppress stuff.
Yeah. Which one's Cleo?
Okay.
I didn't know if it was something else, so this
Yeah,
is
yeah.
the same one.
Yeah.
I guess, yeah, maybe just revisiting hers then, and that, is it not okay for actually to like really meditate on whatever it is she keeps coming back to. Meditate on, I know, it's all these rudimentary terms that are quite driving.
Okay, in this model, in meditation as I've come to understand it, with the help of my teachers and with my own experience and observing the experience of people that I work with, you just say meditating on X, Y, Z. I don't meditate on anything. I meditate on a chair.
Yeah.
Sometimes a hammock. Okay,
Yeah.
that's it. This idea of meditating on something, that's not meditation. That's therapy.
Okay.
Okay, and therapy can have its place. It can be important, and it can be, and it sounds like you've got some very good instincts about how your therapy, whether it's with,
$150 an hour after this.
yeah,
Just kidding.
yeah, and in fact, whether like that your therapy is with someone else aided or on your own. It sounds like you've got very good instincts about it, which is that it's not about suppressing, not about trying to find some high ground, and because that's just suppression. But on the other hand, the acting out, I'm just gonna roll in this like a dog rolling in shit.
Yeah.
That's not very skillful either. There's between those two things, there is a third way, which is not just a wishy-washy compromise either. It's just and what it is resting. It's so simple. We have a tendency to try to make it complicated. But it's simple. Resting. Okay, you notice some stuff is going on right now, because it's only ever right now. Okay, we can only look at present experience because it's the only kind of experience there is. So, right now, there's the sound of my voice. There's there's the feeling of sitting there on the floor. There's the visual experience of the colors, the light in this room. There's the mental feeling of, like right now you're engaging with what I'm talking about, like, okay, where's he going with this? The expectation, where are we going to be at the end of this paragraph? Okay, you notice that was almost kind of like a physical feeling, the mental weight, the emotional tone of that. So there's always some mental weight or emotional tone and sensory stuff and whatever is there during the time of what we call meditation. We don't try to manipulate it. We don't try to make choices. We don't. Yeah. There you go.
I'm a choice-based human, so then I'm always like, inside my meditation, I'm always still choosing is like the last thing I'll let go. It has to be like 4 hours of meditation before I stop making choices.
Yeah, well, you know what? That's a concept.
Yeah.
That's your concept, and doesn't necessarily have to be that way.
Yeah.
And we all have these stories that we tell about ourselves and why I can't do this and why I'll be the last one out of the window and all that. And maybe it's true, but it's not necessarily. So the thing is, we don't have 4 hours. There is no such thing as 4 hours. There's no such thing as 10 minutes. There's only ever right now. And all you can do in right now, you only have two choices in right now, which is to hold on to the shit or relax your grip on the shit. Okay, and sometimes we find ourselves holding on to it because, as we were just saying before, we've had a lot of practice doing that. Mm-hmm. That's a well-rehearsed habit. We know how to do that, and even though it tends to, multiply our suffering, somehow we do humanly have a tendency to keep going back to doing that because we know how to do it. We know how to do it. We've practiced that habit. So we're introducing a new habit, which is, again, forget about 10 minutes, forget about 4 hours. None of that has reality. That's the so-called future, and it's never the future. It's only ever right now, this moment. So in this moment, you're holding on to the thing, you're letting go of the thing. In the next moment, am I going to be holding on or letting go? I have no fucking idea. It's none of my business. Okay? now there's a moment, and I find myself, okay, just relaxing, just being, okay. Or now there's a moment, and I find myself gripping, holding on to a thing, okay. And maybe I get completely caught up in it, and I forget the instruction to relax my grip on it. And that's going to happen. You're going to get, when we're really caught up, we don't realize that we're really caught up because we're really caught up. Okay, a lot of people are nodding their heads. We're all very familiar with that. Then the moment, and we can be caught up in the whole story and the whole fantasy about the way this conversation is going to go, or what I should have screamed at this person, or blah, 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 blah. Or one that I specialize in is taking the past thing and trying to re-edit it so I really said that clever thing that I should have said. You know, where you try to loop in improved dialogue. Right? Okay, whatever it is, when we're really caught up in it, we don't realize we're really caught up in it because we're so caught up in it. That's fine. There's nothing you can do about that because you're caught up in it. Then there's a moment where the little light bulb goes on over your head. Boing! I've been caught up in this stuff. Okay? And at that moment, then also there's a tendency to go, oh, I'm such a bad meditator. Oh, I'm so neurotic. Oh, I'm whatever, X, Y, Z. And then there's a tendency to go, okay, I got to go back. I've gone so far off the track here. I got to go back to the openness of resting, the open sky of meditation. And of course, that's just a way of continuing the story and continuing the busyness. Because where is the open sky of awareness? Present awareness? Right
Here.
here. Thank you. Yes, that's the magic word. Always right here. Always right now. All our we think, oh, I've gone off on this long train of this, neurotic story, whatever. Well, that train has just been going around in circles, like on, a little train under the Christmas tree on Christmas morning. It's just going around and around. That's all under the Christmas tree of present awareness. Where else could it be? Everything takes place within the sky of awareness. There's never a cloud anywhere except in the sky. So if you go, oh, I've been caught up in these clouds, I got to get back to the sky. No, it's just always, so that letting go. And letting go does not mean the thing has to be gone. I don't even like to say letting go anymore, because people misinterpret that. Relaxing your grip. And then the thing hangs around for a while, and at some point it goes away. Maybe in 1 second, maybe in 10 years. Totally out of our control. And meditation does not mean getting rid of the stuff. It means relinquishing the illusion that we have control over the comings and goings of the stuff. The sky has no control. And the sky needs no control, because the sky is perfectly the sky, perfectly space. And what happens is it gets clearer and clearer. What is the sky? What's the stuff in it? And what we are is sky. What we are is awareness, beingness. Everything else is stuff that's within it. Good. What else? Yeshe, did you have something you wanted to raise?
I was just wondering if you could give us an update on Daichi?
Our friend Daishi, yes, our friend Daishi he's our brilliant artist friend who's serving out a life sentence, and who some of you own some of his art. Y'all out in TV land, if you go to my website, there's a page, Awakening Prison Art, where you can see his work. Yeah, he is, I got a message from him about 2 days ago. He's now in a medical facility. He's getting medication, he's awaiting surgery. He doesn't know how things are going to go. And in his last message, he said, I'm really scared. And, I'm sharing the teachings with him, same way that we share them here. And as with every situation, on the earth plane, on the practical plane, you do what you can. You know, get the medical treatment, the best medical treatment or the best whatever that you can. And work and be active and be conscientious and be on the case. And on the deeper level, everything we've been talking about here. The profound, profound giving up. You know, this expression that, you know, people say, oh, I give up. You know, people think of that, that's a negative thing. Resignation. Resignation, surrender. Defeat. But giving sounds good. Giving, right? Giving is a good thing. And up, what better direction is there than up? I give up. You know, so what we can all hope is that when it's our turn in that hospital bed, looking at, you know, what may be our last rodeo, we remember, in these words or some other words, or we have our Sangha friends to remind us one way or another, oh yeah, time to give, not hold on, give up.
I loved in your book, and it really helped me through a difficult time recently. And your wife was passing, and she said, my practice is just being without hope or fear.
Yeah.
And that was what really got me through. And I mentioned that to a few of my friends, and they're like, what, you don't have any more hope? And I said, no, that's not it. It's just,
Yeah.
and also just like, you mentioned something else about, like, what in your book, like, what if things don't get better?
Yeah.
And, you know, that's a hard thing to accept, but once I did, it really brought me a lot of peace.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm going to repeat that because in case that didn't get picked up here. So Dorothy was talking about her experience, and she's been dealing with serious illness of a loved one for a long time now. And she read the story. This is a chapter in my last book, in Fear Less. The chapter is called Lord Shiva Kicks Ass. And a lot of people have told me that is maybe the most useful thing I've ever written for their lives. That chapter, Lord Shiva Kicks Ass in Fear Less. You know, and Lord Shiva in the Hindu system of archetypes he's the dissolver. You know, there's the creator, the maintainer, and the dissolver, Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva. And everything gets, in every moment is creation, maintenance, dissolving. And then the next moment, and every lifetime, and every planet, and every nation, every empire. Right? And all three of those phases are natural, and they're all necessary. And interesting that in the Hindu system, Lord Shiva is the Lord of dissolution, and also he's the Lord of disillusion, the Lord of of losing your illusion. In other words, of waking up, of enlightenment. Because in those times of loss, in those times when the thing that, whatever it was, our marriage, our job, our status, our country, you know, the way we had it set, okay, this is how it has to be for us to be okay. When we get that rug pulled out from under us, and we go into free fall. Free fall. With the emphasis on the word free. And most people, when they go into free fall, they just, they panic. They try to, you know, clutch at the air, which of course does not support them. But there's another way to do free fall, which is like this. You're falling just the same. But yes, and my first wife Maggie, as she was dying, and someone offered to, oh, we can have monks come and chant for you in your hospital room, and she said, oh, thanks, but that wouldn't be authentic for me. That's not been my practice during this lifetime. She said, my practice has been to be without hope or fear. And everyone wants to be without fear. Not too many people are ready. This is like the advanced level. This is the PhD level, being without hope. But of course, hope is just the flips, and fear are the flip side of one another. Each one is an investment in a certain future outcome. If you're living on the hope that you're gonna win the lottery, then the flip side is the fear that you're not gonna win the lottery. And it's that way for everything.
So it's like being positive all the time, that this way of just be positive.
Being positive all the time?
Is that like the
It's
hope?
being all the time. It's being all the time. It's not, it's not what people usually mean when they say being positive, which can be like, right? Okay, I'm gonna, right? Because that also can be a forced thing, an artificial thing.
Letting go of the positivity.
Yeah.
That forced positivity.
Letting go of it all. This is what we're talking about. Relaxing your grip on all of it, and it's so simple. Just being without hope, because hope is just it's a system of thoughts. It's a system of attitudes, of expectations. It's a bunch of work. It's a structure. It's an artifice. Fear is another bunch of work. Okay, we have to work at dreading this stuff. It doesn't seem like work. It seems like I can't avoid it. I'd love to get rid of this, but we've just had a lot of practice at the fear and rehearsing, running through all the stuff we think is going to happen and how bad it's going to be. But what if we just say, I quit? What if we just resign from the hope, resign from the fear, just throw up our hands and say, here I am. Here we are in this moment. So here we are. It is what it is. Now, as it happens, there's a mysterious thing that happens, is that people who do that find themselves laughing a lot. It's not from trying to be positive. It's not from trying to have a positive attitude. It's just from letting go of all the contrived positivity, all the contrived negativity, all the contrived everything else, and what's left over is as my teacher Maharishi said, it's just nothing, but there's something very good about it. Right? And it's why in the Hindu system it's called Sat, Chit, Ananda. Right? Sat, boundless beingness. Chit, boundless awareness. Ananda, boundless bliss. And bliss is, it's the best we can translate that word. It sounds like a state, sounds like an emotion, like, oh, happy, 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 really, 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 really cheerful. But that's not what it is. It's letting go of trying to be cheerful, letting go of everything, and the actual substanceless substance of existence itself is what we were looking for when we thought we were looking for all the garden variety pleasure and happiness and everything else. And you all know what I'm talking about. You've all had, little tastes of it and sometimes big tastes of it, and as you were saying, more and more finding it there in our sitting, more and more finding it there moment to moment and during the other 23 hours. The recognition just gets clear. You go, oh, that's what, and there's always, occasional forehead slapping moments. Oh, this is, not just that's what it is, but oh, this is what it is. It's, how did I miss it? It was always right here. Always right here. Thank God. So, I wanted to throw something out here. Few of you here, who's here that was at our Sunday day-long retreat a couple of weeks ago? Okay. And Liliana, after that retreat, made, I thought, a really nice suggestion, which she said, could we have a retreat that a not beginner's retreat, so that we can dive right. There's some really nice stuff we were getting into toward the end there. What if we started there at the beginning? And I want to do that real soon. And this would be, I'm thinking up a title. As of this morning, the title of this retreat is Here, There, and Everywhere, Recognizing Non-Dual Love. Yeah, works for me. And so this would be for, anyone who's been coming to these Tuesdays pretty regularly, or has, been on retreat, or just for, in other words, you feel, you know how to do natural meditation, which is, not doing. You're familiar, when we say just rest as awareness, oh yeah, that thing. I'm at home with that. And the two dates that are looking possible right now, the two Sundays are September 30th or October 28th.
Very likely not September 30th.
Yeah, September 30th, okay.
So we'll have to see.
Okay, but maybe mark your calendar with a pencil in if you're interested, as a possible October 28th. And we'll firm that up soon and send out an announcement. Okay? And then we'll be doing this again. Are we 2 weeks from tonight? Yeah? Let me just double check that. No, 2 weeks from tonight, I am I'm in New Jersey. So, yeah, and I don't get back till Thursday. So we're actually not sure when our next session's gonna be. We'll check but we'll send out the announcement, we'll put it out on YouTube, and whenever that is, we'll see you then.
Could be that Thursday night.
Yeah, could be that Thursday, 2 weeks from day after tomorrow. So, may all beings swiftly realize the unnecessary nature of suffering and relax their grip on that and naturally settle into their own nature, Satchidananda, boundless natural joy of beingness, our own true nature, the true happiness worthy of the name. And thus may all quarrels, all conflict spontaneously evaporate like the morning dew, and peace prevail throughout the universe. And the traditional Sanskrit language for this wish, if you happen to know it, feel free to join in. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.